I'm going to speak English to look a little bit more coming from the world. Today I was told to speak, first of all, about the status of and the connection between culture, media, and what is coming after the other, and what is producing by the social context, what should we see on the screen, and how we can see something that is relevant to our life. I will go a little bit to history to tell you what was in the past when there was a great author coming in the West and making a movie that was containing all the elements of social life that we couldn't see behind the curtain. I want to say that one of the products of libertarian life was a movie. Movie came together with the development of the ideas of Western liberalism that was also present in the rest of the world, but more or less it is a Western invention. At the same time, we could speak about different spots on the planet where science and the culture was booming and was at the same time, with the Western civilization, a world of civilized attempts. We could agree that culture is the first ring of what later we could call civilization. That's why the fear of globalism today was great until nowadays, when we see that civilizations will be existing next to each other, that there will be no just one that wants to globalize the world. And if you remember, in the late 90s, before the end of the century, when the communism was collapsing, we were promised by the big power that there will be equality, there will be justice, and there will be different cultures in the world. Time lapsed. Now we have, in this sphere of culture, we have differences that we were promised just in the field of sexual life. So instead, cultural differences, we have sexual differences. And we have minorities that are becoming, I would say, apart from the rights that everybody deserves, kind of part of the Vogue culture that was just separating different parameters and bringing something that is not the most important in the sense of how we make movies, how we write novels, and they were starting to overflow all what was supposed to be socially relevant cinema, socially relevant literature, and art as we know from the 20th century. The two theories that grew from the past that we have to understand play the biggest role in the sphere of culture. Wider, we could consider it as the same civilizations. There are two different elements that we have to separate. There is an element of being westernized, and there is an element of being Americanized, and there is a way to be given chance to plant and to develop your own culture on the basis of your ethnicity, religious, and many other elements. In the period of the Cold War, there was two theories in which as much as Gnosticism was a birth of, I would say, considering the Old and New Testament as the main two books in the world, for liberals in the Western sphere, from which we gain many good things, were oriented anti-Soviet. Anti-Soviet oriented was, in fact, losing in their theories, and we could name some people who wrote good books about this, Karl Popper, Isaiah Berlin, Judith Schlar, and many others, professors in the prestigious universities in America. Being fear of Soviet Union, they left prosveshchenost, enlightenment, they left idealism, they left historicism. And as a consequence of this, we started living 10 years ago in the world that was supposed to be civilized by those who stopped having in account what do the other nations around the world want to do. And apparently, in the sphere of technology, we discovered great, incredible possibilities to create a new media, to create new look into the human life. And if we compare this type of media, especially in the sphere of visual art, with what we had in the cinema in 80s, even 90s, we could be very sorry that social life and the relevancy of the position of an individual is not as important as it was in the past. And when we speak about nowadays, and when we go throughout the countries around the world, we could very quickly come to the conclusion that good way of cinema does not depend on money, does not depend on the conditions. It depends on how strong ideas are coming out of certain, in a certain sphere, in a certain places around the world. So the fact you could make a movie with an iPhone, the fact you could make a movie that could go online does not give you a chance instantly to have a good idea. Good idea is being born not in technology. Technology doesn't give you a chance. Technology helps you to solve the problem, to make it, you know, I remember when I was starting making movies, I was so thrilled when we had a camera that was spinning 360 degrees from the top to the bottom. We were enchanted by the possibility that camera could flow, that camera could go left, right, up, down, and easily developing this. We have today that almost every
Mr. Kusturica, excuse me, really sorry, but please don't forget about our special guest, Oliver Stone, also.
Is it?
Yeah. He's online. We can connect him. Yeah. Let's make some noise. Давайте поаплодируем, друзья. Оливер Стоун прямо сейчас для нас вместе с Эмиром Кустурицей будут делиться всем своим.